Hey everybody, my name is Perspex Savant and welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so let me set what I think are some expectations you might have. I am going to show you how to build wealth if you have no knowledge and no money. It's not easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. And when I talk to you, if I sound like I'm being harsh or condescending, I'm really not. But what you need to realize is that the world is going to look at you as less than normal. You have to have some track record and some proof you are somebody before you get any respect. You're not going to get respect. As a matter of fact, I used to work for Milliken Textiles, and I had a boss there that when I walked in the door, he sounded like he hated me. Every day, I would come in there and he would just chew me out about something. And everybody else, he would not say a whole lot to. Maybe one or two other guys he'd chew out, but most of them didn't chew out. But I got chewed out all the time. And then they had these meetings where different department heads went into a room, and I think they were on Fridays or Thursdays, and they just busted each other's ass about how horrible they were and why weren't they doing this and how come they weren't doing that. It was a freaking free-for-all and trying to make somebody feel about this big. But they knew something I didn't know. At Milliken, if nobody bitched at you, you were about to get fired, or they didn't want you. They wanted to make you better. And in their mind, the way to make you better was to bitch at you, belittle you, tell you how horrible you were, and then give you those things that you needed to be better on. So if I sound like I'm belittling you or condescending talking to you, I'm not. There's two major things in business you need to understand. Number one is never be offended by what somebody says. Period. That's your choice. Never be offended. Number two, never, ever burn a bridge. If somebody says something to you and you don't like it, you don't have to have a smart aleck remark comes back. Just say thank you. Thank you. But don't burn a bridge and tell people how stupid they are and blah, 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 blah. The reason you don't want to burn a bridge is this, is because every one person has 10 people you might need to speak to. If they spoke down to you one time, they might have not meant it. It might have meant how they were feeling at the time, or how you were feeling at the time made you think they were doing that, okay? So those are the first two major rules I want you to understand. Now, in reality, you're just as good as anybody else out there, whether you have an education or not. If you don't have an education, you just take a little bit of a different path. If you do have an education, there's more opportunity and access for you, but you can still take that different path, okay? I don't edit. I don't edit for a reason. I want you to see how ugly it is. Not just my face, but I want you to see how ugly life really is. How do I make a mistake? How do I recover? When I say something, what am I actually saying behind what you're hearing? For instance, everybody wants to give back. Now you have an assumption about what give back means. So do I. If you're more towards the poverty end of the scale, you will think that means bring people with you if you get successful. What does bring people with you mean? Let me give you, for instance, Michael Vick, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He had millions running through his hands every year. But giving back to him and bringing people with him meant physically bringing people with him. He went to Atlanta. He brought, I think, 27 people with him. He built them a house of their own, or bought them one, and put them all in there. They had no expenses, no worries about income or anything like that. And so they got bored, and what did they do? They started dogfighting for gambling purposes. Well, who do you think bought the dogs? Maybe Michael Vick didn't go out there and buy them, but everybody knows they didn't have any money. So when the police showed up to shut them down, they just followed the money right back to Michael Vick. And guess who went to jail? Michael Vick. So even though it was somebody else doing it, he was responsible for that because he assumed that he was literally supposed to bring people with him. That was his assumption. I think what we really want to do every time we make a decision about do we want to do this with somebody or do we want to do that with somebody, here's something you can take from the Bible that Jesus said. If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. So if somebody wants you to help them, teach them. Most of the time, and I will say 99% of the time, because only 1% actually do what they are capable of doing, those people fall off. They can't blame you that you didn't take them with you, but nothing said you have to give them money. Now, I also realize on the poverty side that, it's the way to survive in poverty. These are the exact right rules for poverty, which is if you have a little extra money, share some. If you have a little extra food, share some. If you know somebody's hurting, go get them, bring them to a meal. I get all that, all right? But there's more people than you can take in to give a meal. There's more people that need money than you have the ability to get money for, okay? So it's not that I want you to be choosy. It's not that I want you to shut all these people out of your life. But you're going to have to make some hard changes and some hard decisions. And this is why the 99% of the people fail. It's not that they can't do it. It's they don't make the decision to actually do what it takes. So I'm going to go through in the next couple of video series what it takes for you to be successful. And I don't know how many people are going to see this video. It's my first video, probably 0. Who knows? But if you do see it, share it around. Say, look at what this fat guy said. But I want you to understand something. I want to help you, but I'm going to be brutally honest. And if it comes out like I'm being mean, it's not meant to be mean. It's meant to get your attention. This is the thing you need to pay attention to. If you're not going to do this, you're wasting everybody's time. Now, finally, if the fan up here bothers you or the glare coming off my head or the lighting isn't just right, this is not the video series for you. I don't worry about all that stuff. I don't worry about the recording and how it sounds. This is real life. You've got to take it just like real life comes, okay? And I want you to be successful. So with that, I'd like to give you a little bit of homework, and it's easy. It'll take you 5 minutes if you really are serious about this. I want you to give me 3 things that you're interested in doing in life. 3 things. That's it. Not 4, not 5, 3. And if you don't have 3, that's okay. If you have 1, that's okay. Give me that 1, all right? I want to teach you something using those 3 ideas or that 1 idea or that 2 idea, okay? After 3, you can't put them all into place at once. You will eventually focus it on 1. That'll be up to you. But I want to help you figure out how to do that. So the first thing is, if you will write down in the comments below what those things that you're interested in doing in your life, I will personally answer you, okay? And again, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm not going to call you names and stuff like that, but I'm going to be honest saying, okay, now, where do you want to take it from here? Now, here's a huge mistake. I always have someone who says, well, I want to make $1 million, or I want to be worth $1 million. That's not a goal. It's not a goal at all. Money is a tool, and money is a way to keep score. That's it, okay? And I need you to think that way. I need you to think that way. I also need you to think when you think the world has done you wrong and you hate all the white people and, the cops and the government and everybody's kept you down and things like that, I want you to attempt to blame it on yourself. Find a way to make it your fault, okay? Find a way, and here's why. If you hate the police, you can't beat the police. It's too big an organization. However, if you can find where you did the fault, you can correct that fault, and you don't ever have to do it again. Also, if you're fighting you because you did it, it's just you. All you have to do is change a behavior and your life is immediately better. The next tape, I'm going to make your life immediately better. Before my third tape, you will already see this is working, okay? All right, guys, it's been 10 minutes and I hated to take up all your time, but I wanted you to see this first video so you kind of get a feel for who I am. I've owned businesses on 4 different continents, 10 different industries, 15 different countries. I'm retired. I've been retired since I was 50 years old. I am doing this because I want to give back. And I'd really appreciate it if you didn't have any money and you didn't have any knowledge, because then you will be the person that probably skyrockets above the rest, okay? If you've got some money and knowledge about something, that's great, but then I have to break down some baggage that you bring in with you because of that, okay? One last thing, assumptions will kill you. Don't assume I'm speaking to you in a certain tone. Don't assume that I'm insulting you. Don't assume that the word give back means what you think it means. I'll show you how to figure out all that in 2 life. So the next tape, bring me 3 things that you want to do with your life. It can be 1 or 2, but no more than 3. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.